Ever chipped a tooth or lost a filling? Or maybe you're dealing with something even bigger, like a missing tooth altogether.
It's certainly not fun.
Not fun at all. And, these aren't just cosmetic issues. Our teeth play a pretty crucial role in, well, pretty much everything we do.
Absolutely. Eating, speaking, you name it. Our teeth are essential for our overall health and well-being.
Exactly. And thankfully, dentistry has come a long way in terms of offering permanent solutions to these problems. You actually sent over some fascinating dental lecture materials recently. And today I thought it would be great to really dig into one particular area that caught my eye: fixed prosthodontics.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a field that combines both art and science.
It really does. So for our listeners out there, think of this deep dive as your guide to the world of restoring and replacing teeth permanently.
Yeah, and we'll try to keep it clear and understandable. Sometimes dental terminology can get a bit, well, technical.
Absolutely. We want to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Uh-huh.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is fixed prosthodontics?
In the simplest terms, it's the branch of dentistry that focuses on permanently restoring or replacing teeth.
Okay, so we're talking about solutions that are like fixed in place, not something you can just pop in and out.
Exactly. Think crowns and bridges. Those are the classic examples.
All right, right. Crowns being those caps that cover a damaged tooth, and bridges literally bridging the gap where a tooth is missing.
You got it.
So not dentures or anything removable.
Nope. These are meant to be a permanent part of your smile.
Now, in the materials you shared, there was this distinction between direct and indirect restorations. What's the difference there?
That's a great question. It basically comes down to where the restoration is made.
Okay.
Direct restorations are done right there in the dentist's chair in a single visit.
So like a filling.
Exactly. The dentist prepares the tooth, then places the filling material, usually amalgam or composite resin, directly into the cavity.
So one and done, basically.
Pretty much. Whereas indirect restorations involve a bit more of a process. These require a dental laboratory to fabricate the restoration.
So there's a middleman, so to speak.
Yeah, you could say that. The dentist will prep the tooth, take an impression, and send that off to the lab.
Like a mold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the lab then uses that mold to create the custom restoration.
Which could be.
Oh, a whole range of things. Crowns, inlays, onlays, veneers, even fixed partial dentures, which are also known as bridges.
Wow, so it covers a lot of ground.
It really does. And then, in a separate appointment, the dentist will cement or bond that custom-made restoration onto your tooth or implant.
So direct restorations are like the quick fix, and indirect are the more tailored, long-term solutions.
That's a good way to put it.
Now, let's delve a little deeper into these different types of fixed prosthodontic restorations, starting with, I guess, the most well-known crowns.
Sure.
What kinds of crowns are out there?
Well, a crown, as you mentioned earlier, is essentially like a cap that covers the entire visible part of the tooth. And one of the most traditional types is the full cast crown.
Full cap.
Yeah, sometimes it's also called a full gold crown.
Okay.
It's made entirely of metal.
Like solid gold.
It can be a gold alloy or another type of durable metal alloy.
So these are like the heavy-duty crowns?
You could say that. They're incredibly strong and wear-resistant.
So for people who, really put their teeth to work?
Exactly. They're often used for back teeth where there's a lot of chewing force.
Got it. Then there are the porcelain fused metal crowns.
PFMs, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are a popular choice.
So what's the story with those?
Well, they combine the strength of metal with the aesthetics of porcelain.
So they look more natural.
Exactly. They have a metal substructure for support, but it's covered with a layer of porcelain.
Okay, so you get the best of both worlds.
That was the idea. And the porcelain can be matched to the color of your natural teeth.
Very cool. Now, I did notice that in the materials, there was a mention of monolithic zirconia crowns.
Oh, right, yeah. Zirconia has become a big player in dentistry in recent years.
So how do those compare to PFMs?
Well, they're both strong and aesthetically pleasing, but zirconia has some advantages.
Like what?
For one, it's incredibly durable, and it has excellent biocompatibility, meaning it's very well tolerated by the body.
Good to know.
And in terms of looks, zirconia can be very natural looking as well.
So are they becoming more popular than PFMs?
In many cases, yes. It really depends on the specific situation, the location of the tooth, the patient's needs, and the dentist's preference.
That makes sense. Options are good.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have partial crowns.
Partial.
Yeah, these are used when you don't need to cover the entire tooth.
Okay.
So they're more conservative.
Got it. So what are they made of?
They can be made from metal, porcelain, or composite resin.
And they just cover a portion of the tooth.
Right. They're used when there's damage to more than 3 surfaces of the tooth, but not enough to warrant a full crown.
So they preserve more of the natural tooth structure.
Exactly, which is always a good thing.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to inlays and onlays. These sound a bit more specialized.
They are. They're both used to restore the chewing surfaces of back teeth, specifically molars and premolars.
Okay.
And they can be made from gold alloy, porcelain, or composite resin.
And the key difference lies in
The cusps.
the cusps.
Yeah, those are the pointy parts on the biting surface of your molars.
Oh, right.
An inlay fits within the cusps, while an onlay fits within the cusps, while an onlay covers at least one cusp.
I see.
So you can think of an inlay as a very precise filling.
Like a custom-made puzzle piece,
Exactly. And an onlay is a bit more extensive.
providing more coverage.
Right. It's often used when the damage is more significant, but not severe enough to require a full crown.
So it's like a step up from an inlay.
That's a good way to think about it.
Now let's talk veneers. Those seem to be all the rage these days.
They are quite popular, and for good reason.
So what are they exactly?
Veneers are thin, custom-made shells that are bonded to the front surface of your teeth. They're usually made from porcelain or composite resin.
And they're mainly for?
Aesthetics, improving the appearance of your smile.
So if you have chipped teeth, discoloration, gaps.
Veneers can address all of those issues. They can even be used to make teeth look straighter.
Wow, so it's like instant orthodontics in some cases.
Sort of, but they're primarily for cosmetic purposes.
But they can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. A smile makeover can really boost someone's confidence.
For sure. Now, what about when a tooth is completely missing? That's where bridges come in, right?
Exactly. A bridge or a fixed partial denture is a way to permanently replace one or more missing teeth.
And how does that work?
It involves anchoring artificial teeth to the adjacent natural teeth.
So it literally bridges the gap.
That's right. And the teeth that support the bridge are called abutments.
Abutments.
Yeah, and they're usually prepped with crowns to provide a strong anchor.
Okay.
And the artificial tooth that fills the gap is called a pontic. Yeah, so the pontic is attached to the abutment crowns and spans the empty space.
So like a bridge with pillars and a roadway.
That's a good analogy.
Now, what if one of those supporting teeth, the abutment tooth, has had a root canal?
That can definitely complicate things.
Because...
Well, a root canal treated tooth can become more brittle over time,
Oh, I see.
and it might not be strong enough to support a bridge on its own.
So what do you do in that case?
That's where a post and core restoration comes in.
Okay.
It basically reinforces the tooth from the inside out.
How so?
Well, the post is a metal or resin rod that's inserted into the root canal space.
So it goes down into the root.
Yeah, and then the core is built up around the post.
Kind of like rebuilding the tooth from the inside.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that gives the tooth the strength it needs to support a crown, which can then act as an abutment for the bridge.
Very clever. So the post and core are like the foundation for the crown.
Exactly.
Now, finally, let's talk about dental implants. They seem to be the gold standard for tooth replacement these days.
They're pretty amazing.
So what are they all about?
Basically, a dental implant is a titanium post that's surgically placed into the jawbone.
Okay.
And over time, the bone actually fuses to the implant.
Fuses to it.
Yeah, it's a process called osseointegration.
Osseointegration.
It means that the implant becomes a part of your jaw, just like a natural tooth root.
Wow. So it's not just sitting there, it's actually integrated into the bone.
Exactly, and that makes it incredibly stable and strong.
I can imagine. So once the implant is in place.
Then an abutment is attached,
Yeah.
which connects the implant to the final crown.
So it's a three-part system,
That's right, the implant, the abutment, and the crown.
and the crown is what everyone sees.
Yep, it's the artificial tooth that restores your smile and chewing function.
So it really is like rebuilding a tooth from scratch.
Pretty much.
Now, caring for implants, is that any different from caring for natural teeth?
There are a few key differences. You still need to brush and floss regularly, of course,
Mhm.
but you need to be a bit more careful about the tools and products you use.
In what way?
Well, metal instruments can scratch the surface of the implant.
Oh, right.
So your dental hygienist will usually use plastic instruments that are specifically designed for implants,
Okay.
and you'll want to avoid abrasive toothpaste.
Got it. So gentler cleaning methods.
Exactly. It's all about preserving that bond between the implant and the bone.
Makes sense. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From crowns and bridges to inlays, onlays, veneers, and implants.
Fixed Prosthodontics has a solution for almost every tooth problem you can imagine.
It's really remarkable, and it's amazing to think about the science and engineering that goes into all of this.
It's a fascinating field.
It really is. It makes you appreciate those seemingly simple dental fixes even more.
Absolutely.
So for our listeners out there, the next time you're at the dentist, take a moment to consider the ingenuity behind those restorations. It's not just about fixing teeth, it's about restoring smiles and improving lives.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks so much for joining us today. This has been a truly enlightening deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time, keep those pearly whites sparkling.
And don't forget to floss.